Okay, I did a little bit of off-camera work. What I did is I created over here the barrel that links down to the cobble gen. I've generated some auto packages, and it's creating compressed cobble, which leads to double compressed, which leads to triple compressed, and finally quadruple compressed. Oh, actually, and then there's going to be another one. I did that because I noticed in the quest book, when we get to the part of creating one of the portals, I think it was this one here, the last Millennium portal, it requires quadruple compressed cobblestone. So I kind of just wanted to get a head start on that. So that's ticking along. The other thing I did was I made up the rest of the wind turbines. Didn't see the point. You saw me make up the first couple, and didn't see the point in making you watch me do that again. And we need to do that for the quest anyway. And if we check the quest book, while it doesn't let us claim it, let's open that up, go back. It does show it as being 100% complete. So when we actually make the advanced solar generators, that will automatically allow us to complete that and collect the reward for it. And that's done. And that's now power sorted out. We've got more power than I know what to do with, to be honest. If we look at the pipes, it's holding about 5 million RF. And it's generating quite a lot every second. So that is now enough to power up the system down here. We don't even need all of this stuff because it's not really doing anything. I put in also some speed upgrades, and as you can see, it's keeping up. Let's close down NEI for a second. It's keeping up with the amount of RF that we need, and that's like consuming 376 RF per tick, and it's not even making a dent. So that's good on that, and that's allowing us to get a lot more redstone fairly quickly. And then I did the same. That one still doesn't have any upgrades, but this one I put in 12 fortune upgrades to get more diamonds and emeralds. And again, I bumped up the speed, and it's draining it at 1,576 RF per tick, and it's still keeping up without even making a dent in that power system. And all I've done is connect the wind turbines up in a big circuit and run it across as like a main bus, and that's pretty much powering the entire system. I'm actually going to get rid of all this stuff fairly soon because I don't need it, and all it's doing is making noise. It is fueling up the Tinker's furnace, but we're not really using it much anymore. We'll keep it around, and I think that's all I did off camera. And then, as you can see, we've now got 64 diamonds stored up and 51 emeralds. We're kind of getting really short on ender pearls, which is a bit of a problem. Anyway, so what do I want to do now? I have also pre-made up. What I want to do is I want to get hold of a Tinker's crossbow. So I've got a ranged weapon. And if we look at the crossbow pattern, it requires a tool binding, the crossbow arm, the crossbow other bit, the body, and the flame string, or a bowstring. And I've got the materials already prepared, and I smelted up some signalum, and that used up some ender pearls because I had to make up some resonant ender, which we made up through by putting an ender pearl into the crucible, and it filtered through to the fluid transposer. But it's got a very good attack speed, draw speed, and arrow speed, which is good for the bow. And yeah, so I want to make that up right now. So why don't we make that up now? So to make the bow, we need... Actually, I need to make up the string first. So we take out bowstring pattern and the flame string. That gives us a fiery bowstring. And then we also need to make up, we'll need to make up some bolts. So we'll need a fletching pattern. And I'm going to use for the fletching, or for that part of the arrow. Turn the eye back on. If we look at the fletch, you only got a couple of choices. Slime leaf is pretty good. In fact, it's probably the best one, but I don't have any slime leaf. I do have access to blue slime, but not green. But they're identical anyway, so that is the best. Feathers are okay, but it's got not as good as the slime. And I do have blue slime, so what I'm going to do is to make up the fletching, you need to make up a slime crystal. And let's do that right here. I've got the materials on hand. You use 4 slimes with a bit of sand and a bit of dirt, and that makes up a slimy mud. And let me check the recipe. Crystal. Slime crystal, this is what we need. We make that up with... Oh, and then we smelt the slime mud down. We'll quickly do that over here. We run over to our... like that, and we just stick that in there. And we get a slime crystal. And then with that slime crystal, we can take it over to the parts table. Yep, the parts builder. Put that in there, and that gives us a slime fletching. And we can make up now. I was going to make up a paper binding, but I couldn't get it to work. Maybe I didn't put enough paper in. Which have we got? I've only got 4 pieces of paper there. I think we can swatch out. We can words. We can swatch. We can switch out the binding at any time. So for now, let's just make up the crossbow with the bits I've got pre-made. That in there, tough binding, and the bowstring. And that'll give us an arrow speed of 12, which is good, a very fast draw speed, great durability, good attack damage, and we'll do that. Okay, and then we'll need to make up some bolts for it. And to do that, we need to go down and place... Oh, what is it I need to do? I think you take... I made up some signal tool rods. I think what you do is you put the tool rod into the casting table, smelt up some enderium, but I'm going to make up 3 of those. I made up some enderium blend. If we look at the recipe for that, enderium blend. Where was it? There you are. And all that was some tin, some silver, and some shiny or platinum with a bucket of resonant ender. And we did that by melting down 1 ender pearl inside the magma crucible. And that gave us enough for 1 bucket. So I melted down a couple of ender pearls to give us the enderium blend. And that's smelting up. While that's doing that, what else were we doing? Right. The other thing that we need to start looking at is if I want to progress down this line and get the armor that I want before I really fight the Wither, we have to make up this chest piece. And as I found out last time, if we look at the ACO chest piece, that requires a reinforced jetpack or an energetic jetpack. So if we look up at the jetpacks, you can see it takes up, you need a leadstone, which converts into a hardened, which then converts into a reinforced. Or... Well, actually, can you make... No, that still then would need electrical steel, which still needs it. Regardless of which way we go, we need to make up a base one, a middle one, and a final one before we can get that armor piece. And the other thing I noticed was, in order to complete this quest, which is the resonant jetpack, that needs the which one's that one? The reinforced jetpack. But to make that, I need to use it there, or use that on there, which means I can't use it on the armor. So effectively, I have to make 2 of these level jetpacks in order to progress. So it would make sense to, well, no, regardless of what I do, in fact, I'm going to have to make up 3 because I have to complete this chain as well. So I'll need 1 hardened to complete that, 1 of those to complete that, and then 1 of either of these in addition to make up the jetpack for that. So what I'm going to do next, once I've got the crossbow sorted out, I think we're going to start working down the jetpack line, which is something that'll be handy anyway. It'll be an interim flight. And then we'll do that. Let's put the molten enderium there, and then we cast... So we're going to make up the bolt. So we cast the enderium over the tool rod, and that creates like an enderium tip, which from what I've read seems to be the general consensus as being one of the better types. See, now we have a to convert it into a bolt. I might as well make up these other 2 as well, just now that we've got it melted down. Quickly do that. I don't think I have enough slime to make all of the bolts. And we put 1 more in, and that gives us that. And then we combine a bolt with a fletchling, and that's going to make up the actual crossbow bolt itself. So if we go up here and go to the part builder, I believe. Nope. Actually, no, it's not. There's the tool bottle, and then we have to build up a bolt. Now we've got the bolts we just made with the enderium tip, along with a fletching, and that gives us 71 enderium bolts that have a fairly high weight, so it means it's going to be fairly good armor piercing. But it's also very accurate. It's like 96%, so it should catch each shot. Have I got enough blue slime? What have I got in there? Blue slime. I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. We get a piece of dirt. Then we just... Oh, no, it's only 2 pieces of dirt. And we'll get another 2 pieces of sand. Got tons of that down in the chest now. That's our system. Let's go 1, 2. Like so. That's in my inventory anyway. Let's make up the... Got a bunch of those floating around. Like that. Like that. Makes up those, and we just go quickly cook those up. Make up the slime crystals. Run, 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 run. There we go. You and you. And then we just make those up like we did before. 2 of you, and then combine those up with you. And that makes up... We've got bolts for days. More than enough to do whatever we want to do. Okay, the other thing I also looked at quickly was I noticed that we've got a little bit of stainless steel built up from looting bags. And I would like, if I look at the Lexica Botanica, or Lexica Botania, there is a piece of... What I want is a ring of magnetization. And to make that, you need a lens and 4 stainless steel ingots. And to make up the lens, all you do, it's very easy, is you put a piece of... Hang on, let's just... Lens. We need a basic lens, which is... Was that a pane? Oh no, you can do it with a piece of glass. There you go. Piece of glass, surrounded by 4 main of steel. That makes up a lens. And then you put a lens with a piece of gold and a piece of iron, and that gives you the magnetizing lens. And then you do that combined with 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gives you a ring of magnetization. And the reason I want that is because it allows me to pull stuff in when I break stuff. But where do I stick that? Is it? Nope, 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 nope. I've forgotten where you put the... Oh, that's right. There you go. Stick it in your ring slot. And then if accidentally, or if I break something, it should come straight into me without having to be right on top of it. Which is handy when I'm breaking stuff down. And we had the main bars there anyway, so it seems silly not to use it. And the other thing I wanted to do is I made up a large plate on with the signalum, and I wanted to upgrade the cleaver, because we were originally going to use that instead of the adamantine. And if we look at the stats on it right now, it's currently at plus 11 attack damage, with a 6,000 durability. If we stick that in there and upgrade it to that, that becomes a plus 19 attack damage, with an even higher durability. So that's a definite upgrade. And I think I also want to put on... Do I want to have... Yeah, trying to think what modifier I want on the crossbow. I kind of want auto repair, to be honest. Just makes it easier. Because that signalum is a pain in the bum to make. Let's see if we've got enough of that. How many pieces of that have I got? I've got enough slime. I can do that. Mossy cobblestone. What we do is we take the mossy cobblestone, put that into a chunk like that, and that makes a ball of moss. And then if we apply that ball of moss into the tool station, along with the crossbow, that then becomes a auto repair crossbow. And that's got a good speed on it. So, if I can find something... Oh, look, something standing up there. That'd be a good way to... Oop. It doesn't have a huge range, but it's got a very good accuracy. Because the bolts are a little bit heavier. And those are fast as well. Let me open up this. And I'm not going to get those back, am I? Nope. That's good. So don't worry about that. Got more enough bolts anyway. I also think what I'm going to do at some point, very quickly, is get rid of this. It's going to go away. I'm going to replace it with a better mod grinder, because that's caused me nothing but problems. The other thing I wanted to do, I'm kind of all over the place at the moment, there's lots of little things, is I'm going to make up a chisel. And I'm going to make up a chisel because what I want to do... Oh, better eat something. Drink some of that juice. Is I'm going to take a bit of glowstone. I'm going to make that up into glowstone blocks. And then I'm going to take the chisel and I'm going to make a decorative block that looks nicer than the default. And... Ooh, lots of choices. Let me just... For now, I can change it later on. I'm just going to pick up that. And I'm going to start replacing some of these torches with glowstone, because they look ugly. Especially as I can't put them on the fences anymore. If I take F7, find out how far... Okay, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should light it up. Yep, okay, then we can do the same again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Knock you off. Stick you on. Take you away. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's knock you off. Stick you on. And I think that should be lit up enough. And I'll start replacing or putting glowstone around various points, but I'll do that off camera. But that's what I'll be doing as well, where lighting is concerned. And okay, so let's put that there. I think the only other thing that I wanted to do was I've got some ender lily seeds. I want to get those planted down, and the best thing to grow that on is endstone. And to make endstone, you put some resonant ender and infuse it into sandstone. And to make sandstone, we just use 4 pieces of sand, like so, and that creates us a bunch of sandstone. And then it's a case of how much do I have enough. See, I'm really getting low on ender pearls, but it'll help it grow fast. So I will use those. I'll show you how we do the... Put those in there. That creates resonant ender. I've got it feeding directly into the transposer, as you can see. And then I'll put the sandstone into there, and that's going to create endstone. And that'll hopefully boost up the speed at which we can get some ender pearls going. And just for now, where we can put this, let's stick it out of the way over here for now. Just put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and see the ring of magnetization pulled those blocks straight to me without them falling down through the world. And then we can put down our ender lily seeds. I'll use 7 of them. 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we've got some passive ender lilies growing, or ender pearls growing, because we seem to be a bit short right now. And it rains a lot here. I really don't like this biome. Okay, so what should we do next? Next, I think on the list, as we said, is let's clear up some of this inventory. Just throw that away. And I'm just going to trash those. I'll keep the feather for now. Cinnabar I don't need. Chicken I don't need. Stick a feather into here. Okay, so for the jetpack, let's start making up the base jetpack. We need a bunch of lead, some leather. Oh, good grief. This is going to be a long process. So first off, let's grab up a bunch of lead, which I know we've got. Pretty sure that's lead. Yep. Let's grab a couple of stacks of that. Do we have any leather? Let me... Should have some leather in here somewhere. Maybe check the chests. Look. Nope. Yep, there we go. Oops. Got a little bit of leather. Oh, no. Let's have a look. So that needs... Okay, we need iron. Let's grab some iron. A bunch of it there. Need that. And... where are we? There we are. Let's make up the strap. Might as well make up all 3. There's no harm in doing that. I'm going to make up 2 of these leadstones. Then we need the flux capacitor. That's lead, redstone, sulfur, and copper. Leadstone, there's redstone, sulfur for days, and there's copper. So that should be able to make up that. Make up 2 of those. Oops. 2. Let that out. Then we need the leadstone thrusters. So we're going to need 4 of these, which means that's lead. So redstone reception cores, we need 4 of those. Got some gold. Ooh, no. Still don't have a whole ton of gold. 2, 3, 4. Got the redstones. Clear those out. Making up some upgrades. Oh, that was the other thing I did. I upgraded the storage on all of these to obsidian level and some of them to emerald level. And I also put an upgrade that shows the fill level, which is just a basic upgrade that you can make pretty easily. Takes a bunch of redstone, amongst other things. But that now it shows me how full the storage is, so I know if I'm going to start to run into a problem. And I put it on all of the ones that are being fed through with the sieving system downstairs. Anyway, back to what we were doing, because we're getting distracted again. Let's make up the redstone coils, like so. Then we need to make up some flux ducts. It's just, can I use regular glass? I think it's just regular glass with lead and got a bunch of that there. Got redstone down the bottom. So, and glass. Let's make up 2 of those. And then we need the... what do we need next? Got all of that. We just need the steam dynamos, which is copper gears and silver with redstone. Silver is there. Copper gears, where are you? There you go. You, wait, you, 2, 3, 4. Oh, actually, no, we need more than that, don't we? We need double that. 2, 3, 4. So, keep going. Steam dynamo, redstone transmission coil. 2, 3, 4 of you. And that, I think, should be enough to make up the steam dynamos. Take you out. Yep, that gives us 4 of those. And now we can make up 4 of these. And now we can make up 2 of these. Oh. It doesn't like putting in the... Actually, we didn't make enough... Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Just need to put the recipe in. Like that. You and you. 2 there. Like that. You in there. That 1. Make up another one. Okay, and that's our first tier of jetpack. Now we need to make that into a hardened jetpack. Fun. And we basically do the same sort of thing. But with Invar. And given that it's the same recipe with just different materials, I really don't see the point in making you watch me make that up again. So I'll be right back when I've got all the components assembled and ready to put it together. Should be able to complete that first quest, shouldn't we? Yes. Let's pick up the middle bag. And we'll open up that bag. It's probably a load of rubbish. It's a basic bag again. Dirt, because that's exactly what I wanted. And now we should be able to make up 1, 2, 3. They stack? They just stack. And that should give us enough to make up the hardened tier. Which is 1 of you. 1 of you. Oh, it's because I need those for the next jetpack. Like that. And then I think this is just Invar. Like that. That should give us 2. Jetpack. What did I miss? Oh, and you. Okay, so now we have 2 hardened jetpacks. Let's claim the reward for that. Take the middle one again. And see what rubbish we get this time. And another basic bag. Really? All that hard work, and you'd think they'd give you something fairly decent. But no. Stick those in there. Probably never going to use those, actually. Because we're using other pipes. I don't think there's a need for those right now. And let's stick that there. And the next thing we need to do is, the last thing we need to do, is make up the reinforced jetpack. We don't have enough resonant ender to make up the final one in that line, so we'll have to wait on that. But what we can do, I take it that that needs all that rubbish. We can make up this one. That requires electrum instead of invar. Clear that out, and we now should be able to make up that final piece, and we'll use that on the resonant one. Oh no, we're going to make up 2 of these, aren't we? That's right. Ah, needed more of those. Yep, I need to make up 2 more of these. So we need 2 more gold. 2. And I'll do that and be right back. Okay, then we're just going to make up the last one. Like so. 2 in there. And 1 in there. And that gives us 2 of those. So we have 1 that we can use now to make up the chest piece of that armor set. If I can find it. So we need that, that, and that. And if we make up, I believe it's the chest piece that goes like that with 1 of those in. That makes up the SEO chest piece, and I think then we're just missing the boots. So we can get 4 diamonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put those in like so, and then do the same with SEO ingots, and that gives us a full set of the ACO armor. And that should complete a couple of quests that we've done. So we've now completed let's complete that. Pick out the middle bag again, because we're having such good luck with the middle bag. And we'll claim the reinforced jetpack. And we can't claim that one just yet. So let's take a look at the bags. 2 more basic bags, really? Angry doll and creep doll. Yeah, well, I am an angry doll. And we can ground those up. That's not that bad. Let's just quickly pulverize those. Nope, you. Drop into gold. Drop into diamonds. Drop into iron. And we'll smelt you down. Furnace. These furnaces are really quick. I don't like those. Okay, and then we can just clear up our inventory. Not entirely sure what you do with those. What are they used for? No idea. We'll just stick those away in a chest for now. And grab some bolts. Stick you in there and you in there, because I've got no idea what to do with you. Put this chance cubes away. Put the buckets away. And then I think what we can do now is take off all this rubbish armor and put on our new armor. And then I think, oops, come here. Don't think, nope, that doesn't give us flight yet, even though we've got the jetpack built into it. That's kind of a bit of a jip. But we do have that, and I guess then we need a means of charging that. And I think we'll do that in the next episode. Unfortunately, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and if you could see your way to hitting that like and subscribe button, I would very much appreciate it. Until next time, toodles!